Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is actually going to be a new What If. This is going to be part 1 to What If Naruto got adopted by Jiraiya. So, for the next part of this What If to come out, let's get this episode to 150 likes. So you're wondering how is this happening? Why is this happening? So, instead of Minato dying and Jiraiya just kind of going off to doing his own thing, he felt that it was kind of necessary to adopt Naruto because he's Minato's son and he feels a lot of strong emotions about Minato. So it's pretty much he's going to actually do what he was supposed to be doing instead of being a little dick about it. So that's what Jiraiya ends up doing. So Jiraiya adopts Naruto, and by the age of 6, he starts actually training Naruto to become a shinobi. He doesn't train him before the age of 6, so Naruto kind of grows up with a normal childhood, but he is more than usually out of the village. More of his time is spent outside of the village and researching with Jiraiya than when he's inside of the village and talking to all of the people in the village, so he doesn't really know anybody in the village all that much. So by the age of 10, Jiraiya thinks it's time to start training Naruto in the wind style. So he learns some very basic jutsu gale palm and different things like that. And he also knows the wind style overflow and wind style divine rush, I think are what they called. What they are called, whatever the thing is. So by the age of 12, he has those jutsus, and he's pretty average when it comes to book smarts, but he's an incredible fighter, and he's the street smart kid. So he ends up getting placed on a team with Sakura and Sasuke because he's still pretty average, if not below average, so he'd probably be put on the team with them anyway, just because of how low he'd be. So when they end up meeting Kakashi, it pretty much goes similarly. Naruto kind of just wants to become the Hokage. This is when they're doing the introductions. Sasuke still just wants to kill, his brother. And Sakura's just, oh, Sasuke, I want the, Sasuke, I want Sasuke, kind of a thing. So when the battle test starts, it's pretty much how you'd expect it to go. With everybody hiding, including Naruto this time, because he is slightly smarter, and he has a lot of battle sense, so he's pretty damn smart, if I do say so myself. So the bell test starts, and the first one to actually start fighting Kakashi is Naruto, because he decides, he's like, whatever, everybody else is going to be hiding, I might as well be the first one to show off how strong I actually am. So when he starts his fight with Kakashi, he, again, is very, 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 very fight smart, so he's really good at coming up with strategies, just like how Jiraiya might not be the smartest guy in the world, but he's a really good strategist when it comes to battling people and stuff like that. So Naruto is just he's trying to think of a strategy he wants to use against Kakashi. He can't really think of one just yet because he doesn't even know what Kakashi's abilities are. So he figures, oh well, I'll start by making some shadow clones, which he learned from Jiraiya. So he ends up using a bunch of shadow clones and sends them all at Kakashi, just trying to gauge the power of Kakashi. After doing this a few times with really no gain, because Kakashi just every time kind of just uses taijutsu and, destroys or dispels, whatever it's called, makes all the shadow clones go poof. That's what he does. So when he does that, it's very simple. Naruto just kind of realizes he can't really learn anything about Kakashi unless he challenges himself. So Naruto runs up to Kakashi. Kakashi, just thinking this is another shadow clone, kind of just punches it. But when Naruto actually catches his punch and just evades, or when he evades this punch and actually lands a blow on Kakashi, Kakashi realizes that, okay, this one has more speed and strength than the others do. And he starts going a little bit more serious, realizing that this is the real Naruto and it's not just going to, be a shadow clone and poof whenever. So when this happens, obviously Kakashi is a little bit more on guard. He still has his book out and everything because he doesn't think too highly of Naruto. So Naruto uses a Gale Palm on Kakashi. Kakashi's just thinking, he's like, oh no, this kid already has mastery over wind style. Of all the nature transformations, wind style is like the hardest to learn, and this kid's only freaking 12. So the battle continues, and Naruto starts using, higher rank jutsu. Well, not higher rank, but more high difficulty and more powerful wind style jutsu with the divine wind and breakthrough is what it was called. It's actually breakthrough. I don't remember what I called it earlier, but it's breakthrough. So he starts using those kinds of jutsu, and when Kakashi just keeps dodging, evading, Naruto still isn't anywhere near low on chakra yet, so he makes about 20 shadow clones. Each of the shadow clones surround Kakashi, and they all use a oh my goodness, they all use a gale palm. That's what they do. That's what they do. Don't mind me. Don't mind me not talking normally. So they all use a gale palm on Kakashi. This actually drained Naruto slightly of chakra because he had just had 20 clones use one decently chakra draining jutsu. So with this, Naruto kind of backs off back into the woods. Although Kakashi is relatively impressed with Naruto, he did have to put away his book. He still didn't really have to put in too much effort in the fight. This is when Sasuke jumps out and has his little scuffle with Kakashi, pretty much faring the exact same way he did in the original, and maybe about the same, maybe slightly worse than Naruto was doing. Obviously still impressing Kakashi because, fire style, cool and all, but still, he's not as impressed as he was with Naruto. So this is where teamwork starts to get put into play, because obviously, they didn't get the bells. So just like in the original, Naruto does try to go get his food, because again, he's not that smart, he's just street smart. So he starts to try to eat his own food, and Kakashi obviously catches him and ties him to a pole. So when Kakashi ties him to a pole, he leaves, and Sasuke and Sakura both try to feed him food, and this is where Kakashi comes back and says, "You all pass," because, that's what Kakashi was trying to do. So when he does come back and tell him that they all pass, everybody's excited, and boom, 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 they passed. So now they're all Genin, and they start their D-rank missions. Obviously, their D-rank missions are really boring, and I'm not planning on covering any of them. So they do all their D-rank missions, and this is where the Land of Waves arc is wanting to get. So they go to Hiruzen and ask for a higher rank mission, and after a little bit of convincing, Hiruzen ends up giving them a C-rank mission to guide a bridge builder named Tazuno to the Land of Waves. Tazuno does the same thing where he does in the original, except Naruto isn't really too much of a goofball in this, but he's still like, why am I getting escorted by a bunch of kids? Naruto just kind of doesn't really react to this. He has been training with Jiraiya to keep his anger in check, just like only reacting to things that are actually necessary to react to. So they end up leaving, and this is where only Kakashi notices a puddle, because Naruto is not that smart, neither, and Sasuke and Sakura aren't any smarter than they were, so they wouldn't know about this either. So they continue walking, and this is where Kakashi is seemingly killed. And instead of Sasuke, Naruto jumps in and destroys both of the legendary demon Chunin, whatever the frick, the Chunin brothers. The ones, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. So they end up killing both of them, and they continue on their walk because they're really not powerful enough to do anything to them. So this is when a mist rolls in. Everybody instantly notices that there's a considerable amount of bloodlust in this, and this is where a sword flies overhead. Kakashi yells duck, and everybody, ducks out of the way, trying to not get their head whopped off. So they duck out of the way, and this is where Zabuza jumps on top of his sword. Instantly, knowing who Zabuza is, because, he's a freaking Kage assassin, Kakashi gets a little bit worried. He only has a couple Genin with him now, and he has to take out this Kage assassin who's probably just as strong or maybe even more powerful than him. So he begins the battle, telling everybody else to stay back, because they will, instantly die if they try facing Zabuza. So the battle goes pretty much exactly the same up until where he gets trapped inside of a water prison. So when he does get trapped inside of a water prison, Naruto and Sasuke come up with the same plan where Naruto, oh my gosh, why can't I think of the world? Yeah. Zoa! Okay, I'm done. So oh my gosh, I legit just can't think of a word right now. He transforms himself. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of transforms. He transforms himself into the demon wind shuriken thingy-mabobber and goes behind Zabuza, and he does the same thing. He throws a kunai, forcing Zabuza to release his hand. This is where Kakashi thoroughly dicks down Zabuza and makes sure that almost having him on the brink of death, up until where Haku jumps in and supposedly kills him. So they end up going back to Tazuna's house, and they do the same training that they did in the original. Naruto already knows how to tree walk, so he just continues his own training. Not really gaining all that much, other than maybe a little bit of physical strength over the few weeks that they're at Tazuna's house. And they all go to the bridge. Naruto leaves back a shadow clone, which is a good thing, because of the people that go and attack the Tazuna's wife and kids. So they end up going to the bridge, obviously, and this is where they meet Haku and Zabuza once again. Haku starts fighting Sasuke, and oh my gosh, Kakashi starts fighting Zabuza. And those fights go exactly the same up until where Sasuke gets trapped in the demonic ice mirrors. Now, when Naruto does jump into the middle of it, it's pretty much the same because, he's not, too much stronger. Except for one point in this. So, when Sasuke is about to jump in front of Naruto and save him when Haku throws all of his Senbon at him, instead of getting, killed by them, Naruto's eyes instantly turn to the slit-like eyes that are of the Ninetales. And not really, because he actually has gained, slight control over, he can, go into, he can use some of the chakra from it, not like a cloak or anything, but he can, use the chakra of the Ninetales. So with him being able to use the chakra, he pushes Sasuke out of the way, taking the Senbon for himself. He instantly rips them all out, and the heals instantly heal themselves. Naruto, unleashing a little bit more of his chakra, shatters all of the mirrors that are near him. And with this, Haku falls out of his mirror to the ground, landing on his knees. He gets up, he looks up to see a fist mere inches away from his face as he tries to dodge, but he's too slow, and he gets slammed back into the ice into the bridge behind him. He now gets up, breathing heavily, blood pouring down from where Naruto just punched him in the face. His face was messed up now. His poor face. He was just as beautiful as Sakura. No. So, he, once again, he's trying to do something to Naruto, but he can't really do anything. Naruto is just too powerful for him. So when Naruto keeps charging him, slamming him into the ground, Naruto actually has control, though, so he isn't, pissed or anything. He's just kind of, playing around with him because he has the power to do so. So when Naruto is finally okay, whatever, I'll do the final blow, because he's been training since, a really young age. He can kill and will kill. So when he's actually about to kill Haku, this is where Haku obviously evades the attack and goes straight in front of Zabuza and takes a Chidori to the chest. After this happens, Kakashi ends up almost killing Zabuza until, the gang leader guy shows up, and Zabuza does the same thing, where he asks for Naruto's kunai, and Naruto is like, okay, whatever. And Zabuza goes and kills everybody. And he dies, and they lay him down next to Haku. So they have their burial, and now they're going back to the Leaf Village. So they get back to the Leaf Village, and they're training there for a little bit, until Kakashi walks up to them and says, you guys should join the Chunin exams. So that's where I'm going to leave this part off. like I said in the beginning, 150 likes for the next part, and I'll see you guys in the next What If. Peace out.